welcome to Mobile Church. How awesome is this that we still get to connect even though we can't be there in person? I just want to let you all know that we are praying for each and every one of you and that we can't wait to be all meeting together again soon. And I will never ever take another hug for granted again. How many of you are feeling thankful this morning? Thankful for the mums and the grands and the daughters and all the loved ones that we get to journey life with. Even if you're not a mum yourself this morning, there are people in your life that love you, that look up to you. There's people that you influence and that you inspire. You are their quiet hero. You are the person that holds their hand through the pain, that even when they squeeze really hard, that you don't let go. There are people that God puts in our life for seasons, and you are special. And we want to honour you, we want to celebrate you, and we want to thank you this morning for being part of that journey. So this afternoon, I was sitting thinking about being thankful, and I thought to myself, how thankful are we actually going to feel after a few weeks of isolation with you? Like, my husband not only has to isolate with myself and his two daughters, but he's got his mother-in-law and his grandmother-in-law. Like, that's total torture for some people. And that could be painful. In fact, that could be unbearable. But there's pain and a purpose. And this morning I want to pray that in the middle of your pain and in the middle of your fear and in the middle of your uncertainty, that you choose Jesus, that it's in that time that you find him, that our relationship will grow to depths that we didn't even know were possible, that our faith will rise up and that our authority will stand up and it will take action. Amen. So this morning I want to talk to you about labour pains. The church is in labour, and labour is hard work. It's, you ask any mother, it's painful and it's exhausting. And there are people in here that are putting in the hard labour. You're putting in the effort, you're putting in the blood, sweat and tears, the extra hours, the extra time. You've given areas of your life to things, and yet you never see the delivery. Well, labour was meant for a moment, not a lifetime. And it's when at the delivery that the pain's at its worst. It's the transitional stage that is always going to be the most painful, where the pain's unbearable and you think to yourself, I can't do this anymore, I've had enough, just give me the epidural. You want it to end. Well, John 16 verse 21 says, whenever a woman is in labour, that she's in pain, no kidding. Because her hour has come, and the church's hour has come this morning. But when she gives birth to the child, she no longer remembers the anguish because of the joy that that child has been born into this world. How true. I have two kids of my own, two girls, Leah and Holly, and I remember the day that Leah was born. I remember being in that hospital, and I remember saying, I will never, ever do this again. And I had two girls. Our pain always has a purpose, and sometimes that purpose, sometimes we can't see that purpose, sometimes that purpose is for something greater or to prepare us for something greater. And this morning I want to share with you from Mark 5, it's verse 25, and it's the story about the woman with a bleeding disorder. The scripture says that in the crowd that day there was a woman who suffered horribly, continually, with continual bleeding for 12 years. She had endured a great deal under the care of various doctors, and in spite of spending all that she had in treatments, she never got any better. In fact, she actually got worse. And when she heard about Jesus and his healing power, she pushed through that crowd. She pushed through and came up behind him to touch his clothes, because she knew if she touched his clothes, she would be healed. As soon as her hand reached out and touched him, her bleeding immediately stopped. And she knew it, for she could feel her body instantly being healed from this disease. This woman is in pain right now, and you can relate to now, because we're in a season of uncertainty, of pain and fear, and there's an outward pain, but there's also an inward pain, both of which this woman suffered from. The scripture said that she suffered, but she never got any better. In fact, she got worse. What external pain, what physical pain are you suffering from today? Is it back pain? Maybe it's arthritis, long-term injury, chest pain. Pain is present to alert us. It's there, it exists so that we know that there's a problem. And labour pain is a problem. Do not let anyone tell you any differently, and if they do, they're lying. Because I remember pacing the floor of that hospital wall to wall, and as I'm pacing that back and forward, and Kenny's rubbing my back, and he's like, it's alright, it's going to be alright, it's going to be alright, and all I can think to myself is, how do you know? This is your fault. That pain actually intensifies the closer you get to delivery. But do you know what? The moment the delivery came, the pain stops. So I want to encourage you this morning that if you're in pain, then it's not forever. If you're in pain this morning, then it won't last forever. And the internal pain that you're hiding, it can't stay hidden. For everything that's hidden will come to light. So are you hiding in the pain this morning? Is there pain? Because there's a pain that comes from hidden places that isn't always visible, but it is real. And that internal pain, that woman in that story, she was carrying the most excruciating pain. She was carrying the shame and embarrassment and fear of her conditioning, the fear of coming out and being seen, to actually be able to push through that crowd, to push away the fear, to push away the embarrassment and the shame, to get her delivery, to get her healing. I'm not sure if anyone will understand the internal pain, even that it caused me today to post this video. Like the dying to self and the dying to what other people think. That pain can be absolutely crippling. And while this virus has forced a majority of people into isolation, there's others that it's forced out of isolation. There is a generation of people who find themselves in situations where their only means of communication has just changed. They're forced to come out and be seen. And there's going to be discomfort because the pain is greatest just before the delivery. So how are you trying to ease that pain this morning? How are you trying to ease those labour pains? I know for myself, when I was in labour, I took anything that was going. Gas and air, drugs, epidurals, whatever was on offer, I was having it. But you know what? It didn't work. It didn't work, it just numbs the pain. Avoiding the situation, avoiding that person, avoiding that confrontation, it just numbs the pain and delays the process. The story tells us that that woman, she came and she fell at Jesus' feet, that she was trembling in fear, and right in the midst of her fear, right in the midst of that fear, Jesus says to her, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Faith over fear. You are about to give birth to something new, and you're about to breathe new life into situations, and after the delivery, the pain will seem worth it. Because God's going to deliver you. This woman with this condition, her delivery came when she pushed through the fear, when she pushed through the embarrassment, when she pushed through the uncertainty, when she pushed through into her delivery. But, wait for it, do you know what that woman's delivery was? Her delivery was a healing, because God is in the business of healing. He's in the business of external healing and internal healing. But what good is an external healing if you don't have an internal healing first? You can be healed outwardly and not healed inwardly. You can be healed physically and not healed spiritually. And can I tell you, when God does that inward healing, when He heals your soul and your very core, that will begin to manifest itself outwardly. There's an internal healing taking place first in order that there's room for an external healing. Who needs delivery to come this morning? Delivery from the pain, delivery from the past, delivery from circumstances out with your control, a delivery, a healing across this land. Are you willing to reach out past the fear, past the uncertainty, past the embarrassment? Are you willing to reach out to Jesus and touch His clothes? Are you willing to say, God, you're doing a new thing. He has birthed something unique in each and every one of you, and it's time to push through for that delivery. Don't prevent or delay the process. It'll only intensify the pain. Just reach out, push through the pain, push through what you can't see, push through You can't see what's on the other side of that delivery, because I can tell you there is joy on the other side of that delivery, and God loves you far too much to leave you where you are now. He will deliver you, and He will be where you find your peace, where you find your purpose, and where you find your healing. God's purpose is always to help us. Like, He wants the very best for each and every one of us. He knows what that really looks like. And He knows that the best thing for us is in relationship with Him. His goal is always working together for our good. Working everything together for our good. So my prayer for you this week is that you can push through. That you push through the pain. I want to encourage you to push through the pain, because your delivery is coming, and joy isn't coming in the morning. If this word has spoken to you this morning, then we would love to hear from you, and you can comment below, or you can connect to us through Instagram or Facebook at One Church Scotland.